Alright everybody, so today I am going to show you how I replace the FEP sheet for my Elegoo Saturn S. Now this process is the same as a regular Elegoo Saturn. The Saturn S just has a little bit more of a build area, but the FEP, the VAT, is the same. Now, reason why I'm changing mine is because you can see it has a lot of a lot of white dots, and I don't know if you can see kind of right there, but you see there's a lot of divots into the sheet. The main thing that I noticed that was wrong with it, actually, not so much because it was cloudy, but because when I had a failure, I took the plastic spatula that I have and just to peel off the bottom layer for the tank cleaning feature that it has, and in the middle it just kept getting stuck. So I took the spatula and I started scraping off, and it's pretty, it's pretty smooth everywhere except for the middle. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but yeah, it's pretty smooth everywhere else, but the center, it's very rough. It's very rough. So caused this to happen. I left this overnight while I was sleeping printing, and when I woke up, it failed very early, actually, and it was I believe like this, so you can see where that screwed up. Well, anyway, so I am using the Elegoo factory FEP release film liners. This is the 5-pack for, I believe, $25 that I got on Amazon. I'm sure you can find them probably cheaper somewhere else or another brand. However, for me, I just prefer to use the OEM stuff. All right, as you can see, they all come in a roll, and you have the basic instructions on how to do this, and I'm gonna show you. This is pretty straightforward. Elegoo, I think, nailed the system for the FEP sheet, and then, like I said, there's 5. Now keep in mind, when you have your FEP film, remember there's always gonna be a little film protecting it on both sides. So before you install, you always have to remember to remove both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over, and as you can probably already notice, most of the screws are right here, they're off. That's because I was about to change it, taking everything off, giving everything else a really nice clean, because you don't want to touch anything that has been in contact with resin, with your own skin. Resin is toxic, and trust me, you need proper protection. However, this has been thoroughly cleaned out. I mean, it just feels like metal. It doesn't feel like resin's being anywhere near this. So I took off most of the screws. I only have 4. And as you can see, it still has tension on it. That's because this bracket system screws down with all of the screws, but this 4 main screws, I mean, let me just show you real quick what I mean. You can see it's already very, very loose on that tension. You see right here it's the same. Just one more. Now these you want to unscrew on a crisscross pattern, and do a little bit at a time. I really took my time with the small ones, and what you want to do is to go middle out. So do this one first and just unscrew it just to get it loose, and then go across, and then across again, and just like I said, don't screw it out all the way, just enough to get it pretty loose, and then just keep doing the same thing here, 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 etc. Alrighty, and then that should release the bracket. So let me set this aside. All right, and then for the actual film, as you can see, it's really loose, but as you can see, the bracket joining with the vat, it's what gives it that tension. I'll show you later when we place it. However, now I have all these tiny little screws that I have to do, and trust me, this is very time consuming, but what can you do? So like I said, we make the right bit first. Always test out your bits, then just put them in there. All right, so do a little bit just to get it loose, and then go across. All right. All right, let me fast forward this for you guys because this is gonna take forever. Okay, so I'm gonna go throw this out. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so here we go. I got both of the sides of the frame. There's a wrong and a right side, okay? Let me show you. This one has holes for the screws, but it doesn't have tapers on it. That is going to be the bottom. Now, you see that it has tapers on the big screws that attach to the actual vat, so make sure those are upside down, right? Now for the top one, as you can see, it has one side that has all flat edges, and then one side with the tapers. The side with the tapers is going to be facing you, but before that, make sure you peel off both sides to the FEP sheet. Okay. Righty. Right, and as you can see, I'm trying to get it squared off, and I'm gonna show you a little trick. Now, of course, these screws don't have a point to them, so if you just try to screw them on, it's not gonna happen. So my suggestion is take a X-Acto knife and just poke little holes one by one, so you know which ones you're doing right. Now, as you can see, these screws, do not screw it down all the way. Just get it tight, but not all the way down. All right, and now I'm gonna go to the other side, line it up, and same thing. All right, so as you can see, there's a little bit of play still. That's what you want to start off with, right? You don't want to put too much pressure on the screws, so you can have a more even settlement. Now, whether that's absolutely necessary, probably not, but better safe than sorry, especially since these sheets are $5 each. You don't want to really screw them up. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward me doing this because yeah, it's gonna take a while. Alrighty, so now that this is all together, I know you're probably wondering, but there's no tension in it. Don't worry, you don't create tension this way through the bracket. You create it with the vat. And let me go get it real quick. Okay, first off, we need to trim this out. So with the same X-Acto knife, now that everything's tight, all right, you just go in, create a small rivet. All right, and then just, I mean, it's really smooth. You shouldn't have no frictions. Now, of course, be careful. You could also use scissors if you don't have an X-Acto knife. Though this is gonna be a way neater look to it. And if you do have some spills, you're not going to, it's not gonna stay in little edges and ridges. Okay, so here we go. We got the vat again. And like I told you guys before, there's always two sides to this. There's a right way and a wrong way. So the screws that hold the FEP actually together, right, has a small riveted side, and there's a bunch of screws. Trust me, this takes forever, but it's not complicated at all. Don't worry. The other side, it has them as well. However, you can't really mess them up because the corners, as you can see, they are circular. The ones that actually hold together the frame to the vat, they are quite much bigger, as you can see. So I mean, you can't really mess them up. So the ones that are bigger, same thing. We're going to screw them in this orientation. All right, same thing, crisscross pattern, right? But before that, since the FEP it's already on, go ahead and poke your holes prior to even putting it into the vat, so it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so now that I got all the holes poked out, go ahead, I'm gonna place it in, and as you can see, just putting it in creates a little bit of tension. So I'm gonna start backwards, right? This time I'm gonna put the four corners first. They're a different size. Right, and just a little bit, as you can see. Even though I'm just gonna put the four corners in first, I'm just gonna drive them in, right? I'm not tighten them, just to put them in place. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's already putting tension onto the fab sheet. So just go little by little, each corner. A crisscross motion so you have even pressure. All right, they're not down all the way, obviously. Now I'm gonna go with the center ones. And they're different size. Okay, so I'm not deep enough on the corners yet. To go a little deeper. Okay, here we go. And start putting in the screws. Okay, so now that I got all the screws in, you should have a very taut tension on all the screws, but not to overscrew them, but enough to pretty much stop your hand from pretty much doing it. If you have to grab the screwdriver like this, you're probably going a little too far. So I'm just double checking every single screw. Okay, and like I said before, always use a crisscross pattern so you have even tension. Okay, so that's it. You got a replaced FEP sheet. Now, it should sound like a drum. Now, always, I'm going to do this, but always clean everything off before you actually start using it. As you can see, I cleaned it and there's some dust in there again. But this should pretty much take you the way. Now, don't fret about this. Remember, there's always 2 holes here for attaching the vat to the resin printer. So whenever you're screwing down and you're like, oh, I'm missing 2 screws, you don't. Happened to be the first time, so just keep that in mind. All right. Alrighty, guys. So like and subscribe. I'll be posting more videos. Had planned originally to reveal Piccolo, but as I showed you guys, the base, it's no good. So I gotta reprint the base. That's the last thing I need to print for Piccolo, and I will be showing you guys the review here soon. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned a little something, and stay safe.